For this shave, we have a B5 that I have throttled down a little bit with a black O-ring right there. The loft was just a little too high, and so this was set in a 15 millimeter hole previously, but it was just too short. I wasn't enjoying the brush, and so I set it a little taller in this handle, and I'm going to add the O-ring because it's just got a little bit too much loft. So let's back it down a little bit with the O-ring. And I've got another O-ring that I can use for that too, if this is still not quite enough. And I'm gonna just let this knot soak for just a few minutes while I do my prep work. Here's the soap inside my lather bowl. And yesterday I shaved with this same maker, Mystic Water soaps, and this is the Leather and Smoke. This is the way they send their samples: a label and a half moon, and I've already cut out with my little scoop about 1/4 teaspoon. Now here is my Nacet blade, 50 on that side and 61 on this side. So we're looking at the 112th shave today. How about that? Yesterday seemed like it was proof that the single ring vintage Gillette old type might be a good razor for this blade. It gave me a great shave, so I'm looking forward to doing that again. This one's a little different than a lot of other 3-pieces. This one, you have the knob at the bottom. I showed you guys yesterday, and the base plate is just always connected to the handle. I'm going to take the X that I've always had on the blade here. I'm going to make that be down. I've done that every shave of this blade's life. And then we just reassemble in reverse order. This one does have many of these have this problem. It does have a crack going down the handle right there. About halfway down the handle. Someday I'll learn how to fix that and fix it, meaning make it so it doesn't get worse. All right. It looks like, yeah, there is a little bit of play with the blade, and so you do have to check and make sure that everything is right. And there we go, ready. So because of that crack, I don't want to make it worse, and so I'm holding the joint right here when I shake it, and hopefully that helps to protect it, to keep from wiggling and expanding that crack. All right, blade's loaded. Let me splash my face with some water, and there we go. So I believe the brush has been soaking for long enough. I'm going to take and shake most of the water out. You can figure out your own method. Now with Mystic Water, if you come at it with too much water in the beginning, it's really hard to get it back. And I think that's why this soap kind of has a little bit of a reputation. However, come at it with just a lightly wet brush and start lathering and start mixing, and the little bubbles, kind of like Williams, will start to rise up, but ignore them and just keep scrubbing for a while. Maybe I even started out this one with a little too much water. Maybe I should have shaken it out more. I don't think so. I think it'll be all right. But you can see that I haven't added any water to the lather except what was inside the brush, and I already have this much lather, and that's just the way this soap works. People try to add water to it too quickly, or come at it with a medium wet brush, which is actually a pretty good amount of water, and it just overwhelms the soap. It just wasn't meant to be that way. Now what I learned last time was that 3 teaspoons of water while building up the lather was too much. maybe 2.5 teaspoons is more about right. Now it didn't quite blow up like this. I bet. Oh yeah, that one was a little bore knot. Okay, so maybe I should go with just 2 teaspoons of water this time. Once it looks like this thing has stabilized and more lather is not being generated, I mean, look at that. The scent of the leather and the tobacco and stuff is coming up. All right, so that's good. The barbershop that I tried yesterday was a great scent, but it was just almost probably kind of too weak for me to order a new puck, you know, to get and start using. I'll go ahead and put a whole teaspoon in there now that things are kind of working. Another half teaspoon. $11. It's approximately the price for a 4-ounce puck, refill puck, which is a nice price for such a slick, creamy lather. I'm just really impressed. I could definitely go the rest of my life only using this soap base. It's very comfortable, very slick. There are definitely other companies I could do that with as well. And this is one of them, and that might come as a surprise to a lot of people because of the reputation that their soaps are a little hard to work. But I mean, holy cow, look at all this. Yeah, so this brush is a very different brush than the little bore I used yesterday. And I may have used a little bit more soap than I did yesterday. You know, so those kind of variables are going to throw off the formula. I may need to add more soap, but I tell you what, after I kind of constitute this and homogenize it, let's pick, how many big words can we use? After I mix it up really well. Make sure it's just combined. There aren't any wet spots in one section and, you know, dry spots somewhere else. I think we're getting there. That is just huge. Let's do a little finger test. Oh, a good cushion. Nice slickness. I do feel that I have ridges on my fingerprints. Let's add just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with 2 teaspoons just so we can know how much we used. I'm just going to give the half teaspoon, so 2.5 teaspoons is what we've got in this one so far. Now you can pay more money, like $15 or $16, and they'll give you a nice plastic container, big one, to be able to make sure you can load the soap really well in. And the big nice sticker to go on the top of it. You know, you'll get all that if you want to pay a little bit extra. But then if you like the scent a lot, then you can just refill it for very little money. It's a fairly, it's a semi-soft soap. So if you have a container already that you want to put it in, you can just press it in and it'll conform to whatever shape you want. And no, I don't have any relation or involvement with that company. I just like supporting and letting people know about companies that are putting out good stuff, but just maybe have some quirks. See if we can work around those quirks and be able to enjoy their products. All right, splash my face water. All right. So, lather. I'm also testing out the loft of this brush. I think it's right on target. Leather and smoke. Definitely get the leather. I'm glad that's kind of the dominant scent. I like that. That's some slick looking cream right there, folks. All right, let's try that out. Scent strength is lower than I thought it would be. It smelled really pungent from the Ziploc. I'm gonna say maybe 4 out of 10, which is good because it's here in the shave with me. It's present, so I like that. All right. Old type, old open comb, 112 uses. And with this one, I've learned that because of the arc of the blade here, it's a pretty shallow arc, and so I can't use my normal like 30-degree angle here. I have to open it up more. Very nice and comfortable. No tugging. I mean, when I do like that, it just slides through the stubble very nicely. I think that's pretty crazy. So my last shave with this razor yesterday, kind of just a proof of concept just to see if this razor can handle the blade, and it seemed like it could. It got me a pretty close shave. Today I'm going to focus on more than proof of concept, but just the quality of the shave and the closeness I get. Rinse. All right, went back to the lather bowl here. Look at that awesome lather. And then switch to painting. Yeah, looks like I need a little bit more water. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I have an extra spray thing in here. So somebody online suggested to use a sprayer with your water. And I thought, hey, that's got to be right. That can't go wrong. I already use this kind of sprayer with my witch hazel sometimes at the end of the shave. I was tired of it sprinkling it out into my hand and have it fall through my fingers. Well, if I spray a light coating on my hand, it doesn't fall through my fingers. All right, so let's wet things down. Take my glasses off. Obviously, this does change the water ratio on the soap, and so I'll just have to make a mental note that I needed to add more water. Yeah, look at that. It's actually building more lather now. And we've got water building off the brush. Look at my neck right here. I do see a little bit of clumping. Let's hit it one more time. Try to aim the right way here. It's very refreshing. Oh yeah, that lather just feels amazing. That is a better lather. That's a great way to do it. Less trackable. Don't know exactly how much water was used, but I could just say I used up this much out of the syringe in a few sprays, and so then I could increase that amount in the syringe for next time. Again, yeah, the scent strength is about what I said. It's lightly present during the shave here. Cross grain now. Now we'll remove the non-shave area stuff here. Now we'll do a little bit of kind of buffing in the trouble area on this second pass here. And that way won't have to, maybe it'll be more effective later in the third pass when I do it again. That's my trouble spot. I'm just having a blast with these old types. I didn't know how to use them. My technique wasn't good when I started shaving with this kind of stuff a couple of years ago. And I've improved enough, apparently. See these neck lines and neck fold lines and stuff? Those are creases. Let's say here's the crease. Don't come at it with your blade parallel with the creases. Have any of those, I always come at it, tilt it sideways, one way or the other, and then that way you don't come down into the hole and then cut yourself coming out or something like that. Kind of like a motorcycle crossing railroad tracks. You never cross them askew. Actually, it's the exact reverse. You always cross them at 90, not askew. So it's the reverse of that. Sorry. Oh man, that lather felt good. I want to rinse it off. Lots of secondary slickness. My face just slick like crazy. All right, third pass. So we'll go into the ton of lather that I have. Probably will use the, oh, you know what I could do? We'll just spray the brush. See how that works. Because if I drip water into my brush, and they're big drips, they just seem to come out the bottom of the brush. Maybe spraying the brush is even better than spraying your face. Yeah, see, that lather is concentrated in the bowl, because you see how it's really building up once I add more water and kind of use it and stuff. This brush is just super soft. I believe just this one O-ring is all I need to do. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, this is a light soap. I'm gonna say a 3 or a 4 actually, in terms of being present while you shave. Really slick. But this might be cool because there might be some of you guys out there who like the leather and the tobacco type scents, but maybe you have sensitivities. And so most of them are kind of strong. And that's the way I like them. But maybe this is just the best one for you because you still get that same scent, but it's light enough maybe where it doesn't bother you quite as much. But the lather is just primo. Really happy about it. 3rd pass. Really comfortable, smooth. I'm not even really feeling the blade edge. So after this pass, hopefully we'll have some nice results. Some good closely flush cut hairs. Careful technique. This, I revisited the old types here recently. They just started out, I guess. I don't know if I probably just didn't have my angle and pressure right. And so that blade feel just caught me by surprise. And oh, those are too aggressive for me. Now I love them. I think we're good. Let's rinse. Okay, that's a good shave. And that's an average shave for me. Just a few tips there that are hanging out that are showing just a little bit of length. A few dots, that sort of thing. That's my trouble spot. Litmus test, if you will. And that's just after 3 passes. And I could definitely go to work with this kind of shave. And I'd be happy with that. Nice, very close shave. So let us hit it one more time. A little touch up in this neck area. This soft brush is just crazy. Well, I definitely didn't need to use 1/4 teaspoon of soap. I've got 2 or 3 passes left over. Back that down a little bit next time. All right, now careful strategic passes or strokes here. I make the best out of it. In many cases where I've done this and it just ended up only more irritated. I didn't cut any more hairs or anything like that. Light stretching, not extreme pulling over, just light to make the hair more taut. And then this trouble area here kind of comes down a little bit. So when I tilt my head this way, it's more of a horizontal, but when I'm normal, then it kind of goes down. And so another diagonal type pass can be the exact cross grain. But I'm going to go down this way, but what I'm going to also do is tilt my blade with a little bit of a slant, and that's going to actually give it a slight against the grain aspect to it. Light touch, only enough to hold the blade on the skin. And here I'm getting into the area where it really, I don't have to be as careful. This is always gets cut really well. Careful on the jawline. And now just, that usually gets cut pretty well too. I don't feel any irritation. Now, instead of having to lather back up, see all that soap right underneath the edge? Now I see a trouble spot that I want to get. Just go backwards, and now look, all that lather is sitting on my skin again. So now, focus on hitting that area a little better. Carefully, lightly. And there we go. Not perfect. That was a good shave. And I think it's a great testimony to this soap if I end up at the end with just no tenderness, no razor burn in that area that I hit just a million times. All right, let me rinse this section off. Well, there were a few pesky little hairs in that area that just refused to be cut with that strategy, so I might have to come up with some different angles and attempt those. But they're so few that the shave is really good. Really happy with it, especially for 112 uses, right? So there we go. I ended up using 2.5 teaspoons of water for what was probably a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of soap, and it made lots of lather for us, plus the sprays of water. I'll show you the clod that I have left over here. I mean, look at that. Plenty of soap. It's a good economical soap. All right, I'm going to clean up now. Yeah, so this one little O-ring has brought the knot in a little bit. It was just a little bit too floppy with my shallow setting of it. And so this has corrected it probably to exactly the right extent that I like. So really happy with it. Glad to enjoy this brush again. And I got like 20 of these little O-rings on Amazon. I think the interior diameter was 23 millimeter. They're a little bit of a struggle to get over this size handle, but they'll do it. And there we go. It's just like $5 or $6. So it saved this brush. Very happy about that. A little disappointed in the strength of the soap from the Ziploc container. I thought it'd be more intense. Not bad. You know, this might be, a good contender for one of the scents to bring into my den from Mystic Water. But I do hope I'm able to find a couple more that are even stronger than this that I can bring in. So we'll keep looking. I've got like 8 more samples. The way Mystic Water Samples works is you go and I think you order the sample, and it lets you pick 3. And so then you have to go in and fill, and I think write in the names in the comment field or something. It's not super easy like Sterling samples are, but it's worth it to try it out. And the lady was really helpful. I ordered it wrong the first time, and she emailed me back and say, hey, you have a couple more that you can actually choose. And so that was really nice of her. Great customer service. Really happy with that. Also, Mystic Water is another company similar to Sterling in that they have tons of scents, lots and lots for you to choose from. So they got that going for them too. So this is a slick and wonderful base. Really happy with that. And to me, I think it competes in terms of slickness with pretty much anything out there, and I mean that. I don't really know or really care about the post-shave features of this soap because I always use a balm or something afterwards. I've got oily skin, so your average person to oily can just use a balm or a splash or a toner after a shave. You dry skin folks sometimes have it a little rough. You have to even choose special soaps that have nourishing characteristics in addition to the post-shave care. But those of us on the other end of the spectrum, we don't have that issue. I'm going to splash my face a little bit and put on some of this Cade post-shave balm. little bit of water will help it to spread out a little bit easier. I won't have to quite use as much of it. That's a good scent. No irritation. Yeah, that's a nice scent. That's a good soap too. The Cade Rich Cream. Whew, I think it may be discontinued though. I've got a little bit of it that I got secondhand. Very nice. It's an acquired scent. Not not everybody's going to be guaranteed. Excuse me, guaranteed to like it. It's kind of more on the, almost on the, not bitter. I don't know, musky cologne in kind of a dark woody way or something. Ambery, dark. I don't know how to describe it. Oud, maybe in that profile, but it turns out I really enjoy it. I thought it was weird the first time I used it, but it became an acquired taste that I did acquire. So the brush and the lather quality, the lather performance were the stars of this episode, this shave. The brush was excellent. The scent, as I said, I wish it would have been just a hair stronger, but it may just be a keeper depending on other options with this company. And the razor just performed really well. It did leave just a little bit here, but considering how old it is, and most jobs, this is a perfect shave for 95% of the jobs out there. It's not a bad quality shave at all. Comfort level was really high. I'm even not getting any twinges or anything from that area that I really buffed out quite a bit at the end there, trying to get those hairs. It's all right. Really happy with it. So I hope there was something in here for you. You take care and have a good night. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves.